Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Now today I'm going to be talking about the Overwatch League Week 3 matches for the Summer Stage qualifiers. But before we get into that, let's talk about next week's schedule of matches for Week 4. So, start off with the East. I guess the main one is probably Poker Face versus Panthera, since that's going to be at the WDG Esports Studio at Seoul. For the West, well, I'm not really too sure, I'll be honest. Probably none of them. I'll be straightly honest with you. Next one on August 5th for the East. I guess it'll be the Seoul matches: Inferno versus Dynasty once again at WDG Esports Studio at Seoul. August 5th for the West. I guess the Shock and Titans, since Hee-Sang will be versing his former teammates. August 6th for the East. I'm not really too sure. Maybe Dallas and actually, no, I'm not too sure. Maybe Spark versus Dreamers. Maybe that match might be pretty interesting. And then two matches only for the West. Maybe Toronto and Justice. Maybe those matches. But let's now go over now to week 3. I'm just gonna just hide these previous weeks just to make it a bit easier for you guys to see. So here we go. So first off with the Dallas Fuel versus the Seoul Inferno. It's a 3-0 victory for the Dallas Fuel against the Seoul Inferno. No surprises here. Bliskin MVP. A very close game though for Dreamers against Seoul Dynasty, but Seoul Dynasty they squeak out the victory. 3-2 victory for them. Only Dreamers won in Arctic sorry, Antarctic Peninsula and Route 66. There we go. That took me too long to try and say Peninsula. But Prophet got MVP for that, and Hangzhou Spark was a very quick 3-0 victory for the Spark against Pokerface, with Gucci again MVP. Now for the West, the London Spitfire surprised everyone with a win against the LA Gladiators out of all teams. The Gladiators, they have not been looking good since Marvel has joined the team. And they've also added a new support player by the name of Cal, who is part of the Canadian World Cup team. And the support role, I'm not really too sure if the support role is their issue. I feel like the tank role might be, but I'm not really too sure though. But Admiral, he got MVP. I'm pretty sure this is his first MVP of his career. Boston Uprising, a 3-0 victory for them against the LA Valiant. Apparently, there was some technical difficulties in the casters or even in the game. Not really too sure, but there was some technical difficulties there. The Atlanta Reign lose their second match in a row to the Florida Mayhem, a 3-1 victory for the Mayhem against the Reign. I'm not really surprised by this one. I think with Wizard Hyung retiring from Overwatch, and I can kind of understand why he's, well, I should say why the Reign is struggling a lot now to get to pick up wins, and since also that the Mayhem and the Outlaws, both of them have improved massively. Yeah, it's just no surprises there. But either way, Atlanta Reign, they only won the second round. They've been Eichenwald and Checkmate's getting MVP. Now over for the East, Dreamers versus O2 Blast. There's a 3-0 victory for Dreamers against O2 Blast, and Dreamer again MVP. Dallas Fuel, they beat out the Guangzhou Charge. They were full Chinese Russell Guangzhou Charge, as they've added Gaga, which I mentioned before last week, and Jinmu, formerly from the Chengdu Hunters. But they don't have the coaches anymore. I mean, they don't have, because Tai Dela and Sungwoo, both of them have left the team. Basically, they've now gone full Chinese, and they do not have a coach. Yikes. So, they only won at Route 66, and Edison again MVP for the Fuel. So Inferno, they beat Tau Panthera. Panthera only won one map, that being the Lijiang Tower, the first map, and Skill again MVP. And the Hangzhou Spark, they beat out the Shanghai Dragons, but when the Dragons only won at Eichenwald. A 3-1 victory for the Spark, and Leave gained MVP. Now over for the West, Vancouver Titans basically destroyed the Justice here. Now, I'm pretty sure, I think it was Get Amazed who said that Donghan, I'm pretty sure, he was supposed to get a visa by this match or something, but that was delayed for a bit, and so he had to play in like 200 pings, so I can understand why the team struggled. But either way, it was pretty unlucky there for the Justice. The Atlanta Reign, they go back to their winning ways as they beat out the Boston Uprising. The Uprising only won at Circuit Royale and Field again MVP. And a reverse sweep for the Los Angeles Valiant against Vegas Eternal. I Now the Vegas Eternal, they added Finale, I'm pretty sure, onto the roster to make it basically a full crane roster along with the Rack Attack. Just painful. The Vegas Eternal makes me cause pain to myself. They piss me off so much. Avala makes some stupid decisions as well on subbing players for different players. It's really dumb. But the Eternal, they only won his first two maps, that being Oasis and Ike involved, and the rest of the three went to the Valiant, and Seeker gained MVP. Panthera, they beat out O2 Blast. Only in Lijiang Tower that went to the side of O2 Blast and Becky gained MVP. Seoul Dynasty a pretty convincing 3-0 victory against Pokerface and Prophet gained MVP. And the Shanghai Dragons, they beat out the new Guangzhou Charge roster, 3-1 victory for them. The Charge only won on Dorado, which was the third map, and Iris gained MVP. And for the final day for the West now, the Florida Mayhem, they beat out Washington Justice, a 3-0 victory for them. No surprises there. Marriage gained MVP. The London Spitfire, they beat out the Vegas Eternal, which are just trolling. It's basically just a free win for everyone. The Eternal only won on Busan. And shout out as well to Rack Attack, who played Lifeweaver on a map, I'm pretty sure it's Havana. And I'm pretty sure it was overtime. And he used the flower petal elevator thing on OT when the card was about to, cross the line and possibly win the map. He mega trolled. He absolutely trolled his face off just off. He just trolled his face he just trolled. And he just said, nope, not gonna make you guys cap it. I'm pretty sure it was Rack Attack. It was just a biggest troll moment I've ever seen in my life. It's absolutely disgraceful from him. I'm pretty sure it was Havana, so pretty sure it was. But yeah, it was really, really bad. I'm trying to find a Twitter clip, but it was super, super bad. And then next on Vancouver Titans versus the LA Gladiators, and it was a 3-0 victory for the Titans against the Gladiators, and Crimzo gained MVP. Once again, no surprises here since of how badly the Gladiators have been throughout this qualifiers. Let's now have a look now at the standings. And for start off with the East, the Dallas Fuel, they are now guaranteed a top 4 place. That means that they will have a bye round in the bracket for the play-ins, I guess we'll say, for the East standings. And then we have the Seoul Inferno, Hangzhou Spark, and the Seoul Dynasty. And then we have Dreamers, Shanghai Dragons, Panthera, and the 3 lower teams, which will be, I guess, in the first round bracket, that being the Guangzhou Charge, Pokerface, and O2 Blast, who have been very, very disappointing throughout this qualifiers. Because I'll be honest, I was expecting O2 Blast to at least get a couple wins off some of the Overwatch League teams and maybe some of the contender teams, but no, they've been pretty shit. I'll be honest, they've been pretty bad throughout this whole qualifier. And for the West, the Atlanta Reign, they locked their spot into the playoffs with a guaranteed top 3, which means that they don't have to make it through the play-ins. And then we have the Florida Mayhem, Houston Outlaws, and the Boston Uprising. All those 3 teams have locked themselves into play-ins at least. There's only now 2 spots remaining for the playoffs. Then we have the Vancouver Titans, San Francisco Shock, the London Spitfire, New York Excelsior, Toronto Defiant, and the Washington Justice round out the top 10. And now the LA Gladiators is now down in 11th place, and the LA Valiant and the Vegas Eternal were eliminated, meaning that they do not have a chance of making it. Is it? I actually can't remember right now. Yeah, so the Valiant and the Eternal, they now do not have. They basically don't have any shot or any chances of making it to the playoffs in Toronto. So, yeah, the season ended now for the Valiant and the Eternal. But for everyone else, there are still pretty good possible chances for them to make it into the playoffs and especially into the play-ins as well. So obviously, doesn't matter next week's matches. Obviously, like I mentioned before, some matches that you could maybe watch. Definitely some of the definitely some of the matches which will be offline at the WDG Esports Studio are sold. That will be really good to watch. And then maybe Shock vs Titans on August 5th. And that's all really I can really see. So that's really bad of me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch you guys on next time in the next one. Goodbye.